This is Marquee, and you are watching Visual Caffeine.
Peace and respect. It's your boy JR. We're live and direct. Another episode, Visual Caffeine. Yo, we here. We moving. We grooving. It's a brand new year. And we give thanks, you know. We are in the spirit of hip-hop culture as always. Peace to Sen One. Peace to Lady Elix. And we have an esteemed guest in the place. She represents Queens. You know what I'm saying? New York City. Let's welcome Marquee.
Hello, how are you?
How you doing? How you
I'm
doing?
like, everybody thinks I'm from the Bronx, but I am from Queens. I'm actually from Southside.
Okay, word.
By way of the Bronx, by way of Far Rockaway.
Wow, that sounds like my story, yo.
Right,
for real.
so
yeah.
It was showing something right in the heart of
it. So where do you rep, though?
I gotta rep me because I've been living so many different places.
No doubt.
But what I can say is that lyrically and musically, I've been embraced so much by Bronx artists.
The BX. Word.
You know, I've worked with a lot of artists from Queens, but, you know, my base is started in the Bronx, which is, you know, I'm not strange, but I see that happens a lot.
It does. And that's a good way to start because the first time I heard of you was connected with DITC.
Yeah.
BX.
Yeah.
Was that your beginnings or was there stuff happening before that?
Well, there was stuff happening all at the same time. You know, like when I started getting a lot of work and getting a lot of exposure, it was like a couple of things that I was doing. But, like, I met Finesse when I was 15 years old.
Nice.
You know, and I would always be saying my little rhymes or whatever. He'd be like,
that's what's up. So
yeah, working on my project.
Let's rewind there. Talk about that more. So you're 15, you meet Lord Finesse.
Yeah.
Paint that picture for us.
I didn't know that. I was like, wow, this guy's popular because I was from Queens and I was like sneaking on the train to go to Harlem. Like I had never I didn't know that much about that. And you know, then I learned a lot about what it is he did. But I used to do a lot of poetry and stuff like that. But it really, really started with writing cheers. So yeah.
Dope. So cheerleading, writing cheers. Yes. Turn to poetry, turn to raps.
Yes,
dope.
Yes.
I love it.
We used to battle the girls in the back building when I lived in Redfern.
Nice.
So I had to always make our cheers, you know.
Taking me back. Yes. Taking me back. Let's talk about entering into, you know, the writing side, because I feel like that's another side of you that I start learning about when I asked you to come here. I start, you know, doing my research, and I've seen that you've written a lot, and clearly that came from those beginnings.
And I would like to read a lot. You know, as a child, and I still read, you know, a lot. In different forms now because we don't really carry books now, but I have a bookshelf, like that's important.
Nice.
You know, to me. Yeah. And you know, I started growing up, and then I was in college. Skipped a whole bunch of parts, but in high school, we were rhyming in the lunchroom. You know that famous place.
Doubt.
I think I wrote a rhyme and then I said it, and everybody was just like,
yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then after that, I just got the, you know, I just kept going and going and going. But when I met Finesse later on, he put me in like a camp, it was kind of like a boot camp. You know what I mean? Like he would be like, do it like this, and maybe if you try like that, you know. So he was really the one that like helped me like polish my craft.
Dope. That's what's up. I mean, I feel like when you're in this and you're in the journey and you meet certain people who are able to give you perspective to take what you're doing to a next level, that's amazing.
Big L was around too, so
wow.
Like I would never rhyme around him. I would just listen. Like, yo, I gotta just listen. Like if he wasn't telling jokes, he was rapping. That's the part of time when he was going to people's blocks and
Absolutely.
like battling them.
Yeah.
You know, he just I just wanted to soak it in. And while that was happening, I was listening to beats. I was listening to people make beats, like, like from the beginning. And have you listening to somebody make a beat all day?
Yeah.
You kind of just start writing. Like, what are you gonna, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really focus on it.
And that's a process that sometimes could take all day.
Yes. So
definitely.
Right. So then, I would listen to them make beats, and I would go digging with them. That's when I learned about the things about the vinyl.
No doubt.
How producers find records. The grooves, like where to look. Other little secrets.
Absolutely.
I don't want to give away their secrets, but when we traveled like different states and countries, we would go digging everywhere.
No doubt.
So
digging
I
in the
became kind of
crates.
like a beat snob.
That's what's up.
I can't like, then I got signed to Trackmasters. So that was a whole nother different kind of music. But I knew what moved me, But when you get signed to a label or you get signed to a production company to a label, they make a lot of decisions for you.
They do.
And I'm the type of person that likes to rise to the challenge. So it would be like put a beat up, the first day of the group that I had, I think Pope put up like with papers, like he took time to put up "We Want Only Hot" above, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my arrogance and youth, I was like, I do too. I want only hot.
Of course, yeah. I want hot beats.
I want hot beats, So we got to work. We worked with Gaudi a lot. We worked with LES a lot.
Dope.
And with Tone, we would just go in, and he's just incredible to work with. He's really, really good and fast. Like he said, give me 8 bars, give me 10 bars right now, and it just flows.
That's dope.
Polk is a little bit different, but that I kind of skipped ahead, but
no doubt.
Yeah.
Peace to the Trackmasters.
Yes, peace to the Trackmasters. Steve Stout was our boss.
No doubt. So let's talk about that era. What do you feel are some of the most important things you learned during that time that you still carry with you right now?
Well, I did learn that your label and the people you work with gotta like you.
Okay.
Because I didn't think that when I was young. I was just like, man, I would just say whatever, and they'd be like, this one right here, like a weekend. I remember I asked LES, would you get at the Nas that beat?
Wow.
That's, you know what I mean? Like, so when I see the youngsters
it's
now
like,
and
you do this to
they was like, yo, this girl right here. So,
hey, closed mouths don't get fed, right?
I learned that you got to be likable. I also learned that things aren't personal,
No doubt.
and the work begins when you get signed. It's not like, oh, I made it. It's like, now you really got to still impress people. You got to still, you got to feed the engineer and the producer like you on stage when you're in the booth.
No doubt.
Because then you get a good feeling. I tell people that, like, it's different talents in the booth, on stage.
Agreed.
This media,
Agreed. And I agree that it does have to be a chemistry in the working relationship.
Yes,
when you're working with labels, managers, or anybody, really.
Yeah, we were with Sony, but it was like Trackmasters, Sony. My group was Femme Fatale, and we were there with Allure. It was Nature. Who else? Allure, Nature, Black.
Okay. Wow.
And my group.
Dope. I remember all that. Definitely. Yeah, that was a dope era. But that was an era where I feel like a lot of power moves were being made, especially in a sense of producers and or other entrepreneurs creating subsidiaries and doing their thing. But let's talk about, just partnerships that, you've connected to internationally. Specifically, your latest project came out on a label partnership that was based in France.
Yes, Paris.
In Paris,
France, yes.
Yeah.
With Kyla, Tachi, and Venom, the Beat Warrior.
No doubt. Yeah,
peace
to Kyla, peace to Venom.
I went back because it was like a full circle project. So I worked with people that I really enjoyed and really wanted to work with.
Yeah.
This was like another labor of love. I consider my projects like my babies. So I got to go back and work with like Crystal Johnson. Got it. And Monifa. And then there was this girl that was in this group that was signed to Ski Beats. So I did a posse track Her name was Puff, and she was in a group called Official. And then this girl Dawn Gunn. It's just people that I really, really wanted to work with. And there's this fabulous singer, Miss Kennedy. She has a band called the Kennedy Administration, and she has this raspy jazzy. I'm familiar.
Yes. Yeah, I'm actually very familiar with Miss Kennedy. Yeah, she does her thing.
On my album.
Okay, dope. So how did that connection happen with, specifically with Kyla and Venom?
Like I had a business partner that was working with Bankai.
Okay, dope.
Yeah, I had a business partner she was a part of my company at that time, and she kind of talked to them about me, and they were like, a lot of people didn't know where I was because I was doing a lot of writing and features. So on the features, sometimes they would put Marquee, my government.
No doubt.
Or they would put Marquee or the Femme Fatale. So when I would read people's comments, because I took some time off because personal issues and stuff, and I realized that people didn't know I was the same person. Right. I did a song with Royce and Pharrell called Make This Run, and Khalees was on the record. And when I looked online, they had La Femme Nikita, and I was like, that's clearly that's my voice, my mom. I'm like, Royce, so what's good? He was like, well, we can't change it now, but that sparked in my mind, that I need to tell this story so people can bring all this hard work together.
Absolutely.
And Kyla and Venom were really interested in doing a record with me, so we just started working.
Dope. So was that title obviously pulled from the beginnings?
From my group.
From the group, yeah.
Which was the thing that tied it all together for me.
Got it.
I feel like when people saw it and heard it, and the Lord,
they connected the dots.
It connected because I wrote with Dalvin, I wrote on soundtracks, I worked with a lot of people.
I saw that. I saw that. Let me ask this: with your workings over the years, what would you consider your standout writing collaborations? Things you've written on that you're like, these always hold close to me? Well,
one of them would be the Pot Stirrer, which was the DJ Clue tape. Yes. Because they put my group in the firm. And they took, unbeknownst to me, they took Foxy out and they had took Cormega out. They added Femme Fatale and Nature.
Got it.
So that was like that big controversy when they had a fight they just said, when you got your spot jack and all that.
Got it.
I said what I said with my girlfriends that was in a group, and we sounded like one person. So a lot of people thought Femme Fatale was two people, but we was on some Styles P Jada like we going, you know what I mean? Let's make it sound like like this, and it caused like a lot of. She thought I was talking about her, and not specifically me, and I was not.
Of course.
So that would be one of them. Some records that didn't come out, like I got to work with Dr. Dre when I was in Cali.
Nice.
The stuff I did with Monifa, I love all. I'm not trying to sound cocky, but on the Sprung soundtrack, I really liked working with Mr. Dalvin. Like he was like my brother.
Dope.
And of course all of the stuff I did with DITC. So one of my favorite records would be Speak Your Peace.
Dope.
Me, Diamond, Ness, and AG.
Yeah, I know that record for sure.
I rhymed different back then, but
what was your entry into that space of saying, I'm connected to all of these folks that I'm getting work. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing for this person. I'm working here. What would you say was your entry point? Was it meeting Finesse, or was it you networking, or was it a combination of things?
It was word of mouth. We were doing a lot of like ciphers. We were just like rhyming around people, and then the word spread like, these girls. I got in a cipher with, it was like Mace. I used to work at Mark 125, so I think it was Mace, DMX, and Pierre Cardin.
Wow.
In front of, we was under an umbrella. You know what I mean? Right. So it just started spreading. Like these three girls, they spit, they hard. That's, you know what I mean? So that was probably the entry point to my professional career starting, because the record I did on the Sprung soundtrack with Dalvin was like happening simultaneously with like the thing I did with Mo, and the things I was doing. My group started working on their album in Bearsville.
No doubt.
It was all kind of happening around the same time.
No doubt.
I met Quincy Jones. I was psyched.
Wow. Wow. What was that like?
Very calm and quiet. Like, you ever have like these like you think back and you be like, did that really happen? Like,
of course.
You second guess, like, did that happen? Tevin Campbell was there. I know that sounds cliche and crazy, but he was. And we were in LA, and we were working on the record. And I started the rap with Lady Scarface, Canale, stole that without the hard face, coke at the bar. So Scarface was downstairs recording.
Wow.
You know, he had his production. Right. He thought that was my name. So that was another thing when I said, like, I swear, like, I used to use different names.
That's dope.
Because at that time, Esco,
absolutely,
like, people
everyone
that
had
was
their alias, their sub-names. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so, that was interesting. I went down and I was in that. Those are the times when you could be in the studio and you just bump into everybody, like at the Hit Factory.
No doubt.
Places in LA, Atlanta, those certain spots. It's a little different now because, there's so many private studios.
Absolutely.
But that was that time.
Yeah, and I mean, it's at a time, you're right, where a lot of people record at home.
Yes.
There's a lot of folks who realize
they do.
Technology serves it where you can set it up at the crib,
But, I mean, I feel like it sounded like you did it at home.
I have, yeah.
In
different instances.
I feel like that.
This is what I learned. I learned early on that if you're a creative moving into the future and you don't have it so that you could create in your hub and get your ideas out, you're losing a lot. If you have to depend on someone every time you have an idea.
No, I hook up my little phone to my speaker.
But that's what I'm saying.
And then I say the song, but then when I record it, I gotta go to the studio. I like that energy.
I get that. Yeah.
I like that. That having certain people in the room, like working with an engineer that suddenly you really vibe with. I just love that.
And that's my final process. But I feel like these days I don't want to create like that.
Really?
I want to create by myself. Like, I can't lie.
I work out of Savage Sounds in Long Island.
Nice.
It used to be Ty Fife Studio, but now it's Lou Savage's studio. It's really like on the low, but he's a fabulous engineer.
Dope.
Like when I do like my professional things, I go to him. Like,
Absolutely.
That's the engineer I work with.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Blockshare. That's the company.
Yes.
What inspired you to start that, and how do you work with Blockshare with other, collaborations company-wise?
Well, I started Blockshare with I had 2 partners at the time, and the intent was to put out music and to be like a multimedia company, maybe find an artist, to work with. My other 2, we all found an artist that we were doing some of that together. So when it came time to do my record or do any other records, I felt it was important for my company to be executive producer. So we went half on that record. This record, I'm going to be with the Rap Winkle, Baz Saris in the Netherlands, and we're going to do that. He actually pressed the vinyl, so we're doing a lot of things. We're doing a straight to vinyl project, collector's edition, and then we're doing my album in a partnership. I would like to find an artist that I really, really want to work with, but I don't know if you have that experience that it's not super easy to find artists.
It's not.
That just get it.
Because there's a lot of layers to consider,
Yes.
I mean, I know that sometimes there'll be someone who's super duper talented.
Yes.
But they're not that great socially.
Right.
Connecting with people and working with
Hallelujah.
people, or vice versa.
Absolutely.
I work great, but my talent is not where I need it to be yet. So I get it. But I feel that we are in a time where finding these people are a lot easier than it used to be, just because technology,
I believe I have an ear for that. Like, some of the young guns I work with, they're doing stuff, on their own. It's like this kid, If the God, Bando Flea out in Long Island. Zay, Obey Zay, I work with him a lot, even like on my own music. This fabulous songwriter named Simone, but she spells it with an X, so and she's fabulous. She plays 3 instruments, she writes really fast, she's just awesome. So I kind of try to surround myself with that, but at this moment in time, I feel like when that person shows up, it'll work. Because like you said, there's always something missing.
Yeah. So let's talk about that person. What does that person need to have? What does that person need to bring to the table to make you say, you know what? This is something worth putting time and investment into to build.
Well, definitely the it factor.
Okay.
You know, some people have it that aren't even in the music, or it's just like when they walk in the room, they have a presence.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Consistency is very important.
Totally.
Your word being your word, and you being able to follow through. You know, be versatile, work with, you know, different people, have a good attitude, you know, because I found that sometimes when people are insecure, it comes out in an attitude form. And I know what that's like, you know, so that's kind of difficult to deal with sometimes. And then, you know, with females, it's very tricky because I tell them up front, like, look, don't sleep with nobody. There's millions and millions of men
no doubt.
that don't do this. Yeah. And this 4 hours that we're here, or this time that I'm with you and we're doing this, I need you to be 100% focused on what we're doing.
No doubt.
So when those kind of shenanigans go on, things start to go left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like maybe the person is like with me like right now, just watching what I do, because speaking to people, I find like they'll ask you questions, and I learned that even if you answer it like about publishing, like somebody might ask you about publishing, like, you know, and you tell them and then they like don't believe you. I'm like, why did you ask me that?
Or don't follow through with what they need to get done.
Simple stuff. You know, set up your foundation.
Set up your foundation.
You know what I mean? Get your social media together. Get your BMI, your ASCAP. You would be you wouldn't even believe how much people don't, you know, just do those. I'm like, how are you going to get paid if you don't set up these things?
You know what? There's a lot of people who just don't know. Because think about it. We come from a time where major corporations were handling all that for you. Unfortunately, a lot of times they were taking a lot more than they should have. But I feel like there's a lot of artists who are older now who come from a time where the label did everything.
But, you know, that being said, these are younger artists I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So they're talking to me about being an older artist, but I'm operating on the now time, and you're operating like, oh, I wanted a deal. Like, who you getting one from? Who got a deal in New York the last how many years?
You are the deal.
You are the deal. You are the business. You are the deal. You are the product, and you have to think like that. You know, a lot of people don't follow through and finish. Like, you don't. My engineer told me, 85 to 90% of the people that come and work with him don't mix their songs.
Wow. What do you mean? They just record the song and leave with the rough draft? I'm telling you, like, and then they put it on SoundCloud, and then they put it. That's what they do. And I'm like, listen. And then you want to compare yourself to like J. Cole record or their song is finished. Like the concept of that, it don't. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just doesn't click, and I don't get it. What do you feel are the best ways to reverse that?
I think I have to just show them. That's my best way. You know, I've talked to some of my peers, my colleagues, you know, about situations. You know, this cat Chuck Platinum that works with AG a lot. I talk to him, you know, about stuff, and the best thing to do is show them. And I'm like, I'm showing you. I got my physical copy right here. You see, I sold it. You know, then I got the double vinyl. I sold all of those. You're watching me. You're watching me mix the records. You're watching me focus on this project, focus on this song.
Exactly.
You got to get it. So those are the things.
That's what makes your record stand out, how it sounds. That's the first thing people notice.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's, you're right. Those are jewels for the upcoming. You mentioned something, giving jewels to upcoming young women in the business. You know, I want to ask you, like, coming from your journey early in the business, male dominant industry, etc. How hard was it for you in your early times, just navigating through hip hop spaces and, you know, different situations?
I was very lucky. You know, I was very lucky because I was around people like MC Light and Isis,
Dope.
you know, Lynn Q.
Yeah.
Me and Latifah have done a lot of records together.
Dope.
You know, I worked on her Queen on the Court album with her. And, you know, they would give me jewels. I worked with Light on her on 7 on 7 album.
Dope.
So, you know, I was really fortunate, you know, with that. You know, they would tell me things. You know, Dalvin would tell me a lot of things, you know, because I was like his little sister, you know. So he would be like, Marquee, watch this. We'd go into somewhere and eat, and he'd be like, I ain't paying for this. All I ordered was soup. And he's like showing me, you know, like this is how people do, you know. And, you know, just, Light would talk to me like, look, you know, you got to do this. Actually, Jay-Z said to me, every time you come out, you know, you got to look like this. You got to do like that. Because they managed us like for a very short amount of time.
Peace, respect, everybody. It's your boy John Robinson, Visual Caffeine. First and foremost, we want to say shout outs and big thanks to everyone who's been supporting VizCaff.com, been supporting the IG page. We love y'all for that. This year, we have tons of new episodes coming, so subscribe to us on YouTube. We also got a plethora of past episodes. I'm talking interviews with Bob Power, interviews with VJ Ralph McDaniels, interviews with Scheme, Thurston Howell III, Sadat X, and so many others that are right there on our YouTube channel. Check us out on YouTube, search for us, Visual Caffeine, subscribe to our channel, the information's right here. We hope to see you in this new year, and definitely look out for more and more episodes of VizCaff in this new year too. Peace and respect, much love. Let's talk about, you know, off camera we were talking a little bit about what you're working on coming up. You know, you said you got new record, you're in album mode.
Yes.
You know, you said that the sound is a little bit different.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk about that.
I'm taking more risks. It's not necessarily a boom bap album, but it is lyrical.
No doubt.
You know, I'm playing with different flows.
What's the music sound like?
The music sounds like 2019 Marquee. You know, the other part that wasn't on the Femme Fatale record, like what happens after that.
No doubt.
Because that was my beginning story, full circle. Like if you listen to the album, I have a narrator. So what I did was I started with the finesse track, and then I ended with the Venom track and the conclusion.
No doubt.
You know, so that was like a full circle thing. So what's next? You know, and there's a lot of artists I like right now. And so far I've worked with Buck Wild. He gave me a beat. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, Buck. I had Prince Poe's artist Shorty Shaw come out and you know, do that. And then Motif alumni has done
Motif. Yeah.
two tracks for me.
Shout out to
amazing.
Motif.
Yeah. I just know like he's next. You know what I mean?
You know what I love about Motif is he's not just a beat maker, he's a musician.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, he plays some keys on my joint. He brought it up to the, you know what I mean? And it's a song about my mother, so it's like, you know, he puts the soul in it, and it was really cool. I'm going there with the Beat Miners next.
Wow.
So I got a track from Mr. Walt, so I'm going to record it over there instead of where I normally do.
How do you feel about writing on your device versus writing with a pen or pencil?
Well, I do both. You know, when I'm writing on my device, something it's not connected yet. You know, they're like ideas, thoughts.
Got it.
Writing down. People, I don't know, when you write stories, sometimes you write down. You just write whatever comes to your mind, and you go back and pick out, you know what I mean, whatever it is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, that you want to do. But when I record, I like to know the verse, but not know it so it's stale. So I write it, and I'm like super neat. Like I'm a freak. Like it's crazy. Like if you see my my papers, and I like to look at it, even though I know the rhyme. Like I just like to look at it. You know.
Yeah. But that's. I mean, I feel like that's the perfect guide, because especially when you know it, and then you still could refer to it. That's when you really kill it.
And then actually, one of the things that happened to me was we were working with Clark Kent. and he did that beat for Rakim.
Oh yeah.
He gave us that beat first. We had a lot of famous beats that we had first that we didn't use. Buck gave me Whoa, like it was that beat, like it was just a lot of. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe he gave it to me. He gave it to me just to like rhyme to. But that one.
What's the name of that again?
It's the Return. Ain't that how it go? Yeah. So there was this marker board. He had a marker board, white marker board. So I wrote this rhyme. And this is when things kind of like started changing and fitting, and everything I learned started connecting. Like Finesse telling me like, you're way ahead. Like, you know, you don't understand, like you're ahead. Like, and I'd be like, what is he talking about? And you still have those insecurities and all of that. And then Clark was like, yo, Rakim looked at your rhyme and was like, yo, who wrote that? I was gassed, yo. I was gassed. I was like, yo, I don't care what anybody says now. I'm the illest. I don't care. Like, I don't care if you say I don't believe you. You're not.
I'm the
You're
illest.
not right.
The God MC said, I'm the illest.
I mean, I've been working with IU too. He's doing a project. So he works out of that studio as well. And I call him a lot of times when I'm doing vocals because he is like the vocal sensei, like about getting in pocket. Like I've been hearing this my whole career. Too many words, Marquita. Got too many words.
Get in
so
pocket.
Too many words, yo.
Yeah, I mean, I love that too. Like I'm the person who I like to fit a lot of words in a small amount of space.
Yes,
yeah, definitely.
So the editing is important.
No doubt.
I learned that you don't need stuff. You don't need we's and they's and you know, just like speed reading. Yeah. You know how you read down the middle of the page. You know, you don't need those things. And that's one of the things I like to try and teach the younger people that I work with. Because they don't like to do it. So I'm like, it's not working because you didn't edit it.
Got it. It's too much, too many words. You're right.
You can't give it any soul or diction. You don't have enough space because you got all these extra words. You know what I mean? To really come across, because you could say, yo, I'm the illest in the room, like, you know what I mean, you can say it that way, or you can say I'm the illest in the room, and then, you know what I mean, and a lot of them do that, and I'm like, you're saying something dope, you gotta say it so they hear it.
You're right. Those are gems. All my writers and creatives out there, if you
I
do
gave
that
you a lot
in
of
that
secrets.
way, it's been a lot of gems. A lot of gems. Some she kind of just made you think more creatively or critically about, but others, yeah, she poured the gems out.
Do it and you're the originator of it, you know what I mean, like let's say Migos or Future or, you know, people like that. You are the originator. What I don't want is the little Migos and a little Future and a little, you know what I mean, because then when he falls, and Finesse taught me this, you're gonna fall first.
Absolutely.
So stick to what it is that you do. Don't follow trends, and people are gonna feel it. If you feel it when you're recording it, people are gonna feel it, and it's gonna connect. And it's just like it's like I don't know, it's a zone. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Be your genuine self. You know, that's what I feel, that's what hip hop culture wants. They want you to be who you are, no matter what that is. Like you said, you could be the quirkiest whatever, but if you're living your true self and you're coming at it a certain way, people will resonate with that and say, yo, I
just wish they would break hip hop down correctly. Like rock music, so many different, you know, underlying, you know, like soft rock, light rock.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But when it comes to hip hop, which is why there's that static in between generations, because
it's like,
you know
it's
what I mean?
Music.
It's not all rap music. Some people are not MCs or rappers. Some people are performers.
Absolutely.
You know, there's so many different kinds of rap now. You have to. I just feel like that will clear everything up. There's the mumble rap, and then you got the money, you know, then you got the boom. It's so many. But if you go to an award show or there's something that's a best hip hop album, and there be people that singers sometimes, you're like, wait a minute, that's not even a rapper. Like, what do you know? So I just think that I just wish that they would separate it, you know, and really understand that it has grown and it has different branches. It's all around the world. So how can you judge that when people are in Korea or Paris or Australia, you know, and they're doing their thing and they, you know, they're large, but I mean, it is hip hop, you know, but it's just there's just so many different breakdowns of it.
So many. I'm a ask this next question. It's based off of what we were just talking about with young people, young artists, creatives, but dealing with right now in the climate we're in, you know, we're at a time where specifically rap music in America, from a younger generation standpoint, super misogynistic, super, you know, like going at women with negative vibes a lot. How do you feel, or what do you feel are the best ways to inspire young women who are coming up in this time where that's what they're hearing, you know, as young girls, and they're raised up? How do you, or what do you say to them to navigate safely through that?
I think that, you know, I used to have a musical theater group. I taught in middle school, and you know, I would see the kids like dancing to certain things and, you know, singing certain things that was really like, oh, took you back, like, wait a minute, you're 12, like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when we were doing we did a production, I had them do everything, you know. So I had them do the props, the background, the dance steps, the costumes, the choreography, people that work backstage and everything. And I noticed that when I would play, like, I would play classical music sometime in the classroom, and it would just be such a cool vibe. Like, they would be so calm, and then they'd be like, Miss Marquee, can you play Hot Night? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I physically would watch the change, you know, in the room, the frequency, you know, just change, you know what I mean? The way they start acting, the way they start talking, you know. So I think the best way for me to do it is if I did another, you know, working with young people, which I loved my musical theater group. No doubt. And would be by example. Mostly by example. You know, there's girls like Neelam and, you know, just people that are showing you don't have to be naked. Yeah. I'm not gonna be naked. I'm just not gonna be naked. No doubt. I don't care about a 6-pack and a Serena Williams body. I am not doing that.
I feel you.
Because that's not what this is about.
I feel you.
This is about the music, but you could be about that. That's that Luke, Uncle Luke. Go, you know what I mean?
No doubt. No doubt.
Do that. So I really, you know, have to do it by example. But I would love to see, you know, these women not be cookie cutter. I want to know who you are. Like, I want to, you know, you can hear some good music from someone and she got on patent leather high boots and I'm like, why? You don't even look comfortable in that. Yeah. But you think that's what you got to do.
You think that's what you got to do.
But it's not. Look at her.
Right.
See her face.
Yeah. You don't even know her name.
You know, and even when she wears, you know, I mean, it's still, you know, classy or whatever. Totally. But, I mean, you got to freak them music, freak them dress, you know, shake your butt, twerk music. That's all right. That's just not what I'm into. Because I can't sing "Effing Get Some Money." I'm not singing that. I'm not singing that in the club. I'm not singing my neck. I can't. Yeah. Yo, when those things come on, I'm like, yo, how can you?
I feel you.
And then when dudes talk to you crazy, you don't understand. Your butt is on IG.
Yeah. Nah, that's
I don't know why he just wanted to. Really?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like when things happen like it's your fault, but it's a way you conduct yourself.
Agreed.
If you want to be treated a certain way, but if not, if you can handle it and you know that's what you want to do, more power to you. I ain't knocking nobody hustle.
Agreed. So what about this new project? Is there a title for it? Not yet?
No, there's a title for it.
I
have a title for both of my projects, actually. For the vinyl project I'm doing with OJ and Baz. It's the collector's edition we're doing. That one is not gonna be like, it might be like one of those shorter things because it's going straight to vinyl. It's gonna be a limited amount of copies, but yeah, I do have a title, but I don't
hold it back.
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's all good. It's all good because I feel the reason I asked that is just if it was closer, you know, throw that out there, people be looking for it, but I do understand that too. If it's a little time, you throw that title out there.
Right, you know? It's closer. I got like maybe 5
people might be like, oh, that's a dope title. Let me flip it.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons why when I freestyle or when people ask me to rhyme, I say the same 5 rhymes. I learned that. I learned that because you on this show, you do. Nobody, you know, really remembers. But there's been times where I've said something and then somebody take your line and mess it up and just switch it around and you like.
Yeah, nah, I could dig it.
you just stunk up my lyrics. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't think I know?
I could dig it. Where are the best places for peeps to find Marquee online?
Well, I'm on IG.
No doubt.
Marquee the One, MARQUEETHE1. That's pretty much all around the board. My website is about to be up and running. Right now it's a little bit under construction, but it'll be www.MARQUEETHEONE. But you gotta put the www.
Word.
You know, Facebook is Marquee, Marquita, and yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me at on social media.
No doubt. Any last words? Any shout outs? Any peeps you want to, say peace to?
Well, I would like to say thank you to Visual Caffeine for inviting me.
No doubt.
For you for inviting me.
Yeah.
For all your crew and the staff and all the people that, are here, making this happen. I'm very grateful. I'm very excited, about, music. I think everybody's about to come really, really hard.
Word.
And, yeah, look out for what I'm doing.
No doubt. And while you at it, you might as well go check out what's out right now. She got the Femme Fatale album out. It's out on all the streaming platforms. It's on Bandcamp. You can go listen right now.
Yep.
Shouts to Kyle. Shouts to Venom.
Shouts to Kyle and Venom.
Shouts to Finesse.
Lord Finesse.
Yeah, yo.
DITC, Showbiz, AG.
No doubt.
Diamond D.
No doubt.
OG.
And shouts to Marquee. Word up. Salute. Thank you for coming. Join us. Build with us. And yeah, go check out some of that music. There's a lot of stories that were told. Go do some research.
OC and AG too. I forgot. I can't believe it.
Oh yeah.
I just did a record with
Let's
OC.
go. Big ups OC. Peace and respect.